Hey everyone, welcome back to Running with Rudy. Today is Friday, October 12th, and this is Rudy's Weekly Wrap-Up. Joining me today is Deputy Communications Director Maria Camilla. Maria, thanks for being with us.
Well, thanks for having me.
Let's kind of wrap up the week. The big news today.
Sure. Former Governor Tommy Thompson has endorsed the mayor in the race for president. So he's going to be doing an announcement actually today in South Carolina.
Nice. Now, what goes into, this is obviously a big endorsement.
It's huge, actually. Governor Tommy Thompson is the first candidate who's stepped out of the race to endorse a candidate for president. He's also someone who has the second most public executive experience, of course, behind the mayor. So it's really a great fit, and we're glad to have him as part of the team.
So once he endorses in South Carolina, what kind of goes into an endorsement once it happens? What happens after that?
Well, I mean, someone like Governor Tommy Thompson is a huge endorsement, and he's someone who has a lot of great experience. Everybody knows that he's known for implementing welfare reform in Wisconsin, something that the mayor did in New York City. So he's someone who is great to have out on the campaign trail talking about not only the mayor's record, but why he's the best person to be president, not only because he's done it and he can do it again as president. So we'll use him in a lot of different ways. Out on the campaign trail, actually visiting the states. We'll also use him for radio and television hits, and it's just great to have somebody else out there who can communicate the message.
Nice. Well, that's exciting. Now, also this week was the CNBC and Wall Street Journal debate.
Yes.
How did that go?
It went really well. It was another great performance for the mayor's sixth debate, and it was a great opportunity to really highlight the differences between the mayor and the other candidates. The mayor is someone who talks about the importance of fiscal discipline, but I think, as we know, the mayor has a great record to back it up. So it was a great opportunity to talk about what he did here in New York City, cutting taxes 23 times, turning a deficit into a surplus, removing 640,000 people off the welfare rolls. So anytime you have an opportunity to basically show that you did something and got real results is great.
There was also, I know there was a pretty cool video after the debate that Steve Forbes did.
Yeah, I mean, this was a great opportunity to use new media. Steve Forbes, who obviously is really well known for cutting taxes and being strong in terms of fiscal conservatism, he did a post-debate video for us, which went up live on the website as soon as the debate was over, touting about what a great job the mayor did and talking about, why he's right when it comes to economic issues.
Okay. So the endorsement, other things this week, the endorsement's happening in South Carolina today.
Yep.
The mayor was also in Alabama, D.C., Virginia. In Virginia, he spoke at NATO, right?
Yes. It was an event that was closed press, but he was invited to speak. He'd actually spoken in front of this group last year as part of what they do each year. And it was an organization that actually had, I think, Condoleezza Rice speak to them the day before. So it was an opportunity for him to talk about his views on foreign policy and highlight one thing which he's talked about before, which is expanding the number of countries that are in NATO and those countries which will be helpful in terms of the terrorist war on us.
Nice. Cool. And Kevin, you were in Illinois last week.
Yes, it was.
So you got some pretty good footage of some supporters, I think, right?
Great support from a lot of young people. There was an event that had probably 200 college students. It was fantastic. They were cheering, they were screaming, they were clapping. It was great. It was great.
Nice.
It really was awesome.
You caught some footage afterwards of people talking? Let's take a look at some of the footage that Kevin caught of some of the supporters, just kind of talking about their support of the mayor.
Everybody's been involved in government. Think about the fact that he cut taxes 23 times when most people in government spend time raising taxes.
I lowered taxes in New York, depending on how you estimate it, anywhere between $9 and $10 billion. I'll give you one specific one. I lowered the income tax rate by 24%. That's a big cut. You'd like a 24% cut in your income tax rate right now, wouldn't you? You know what happened? I was collecting more money from the lower tax than the higher tax.
I like the fact that he's trying to fix healthcare in a way that makes sense rather than giving people government healthcare. I don't think that government healthcare is the answer. Just building up bureaucracy is going to make it, I think, more difficult to cover people under healthcare.
And I am a huge Rudy fan. I think that his plans are realistic, and he's a really big patriotic person.
I'm a Yankees fan as well as a Rudy fan. I just moved to Chicago 3 months ago. I've been a fan of him ever since. Like I said, I'm from New York. I had the privilege of seeing firsthand what kind of impact he made on New York. And results matter to me. He took a city that was the crime capital of the world and turned into the safest big city in America.
Well, that was pretty good footage from Kevin. And then before we wrapped up, we launched a new radio ad in Iowa this week. It's called Them. Maria, can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, basically the ad uses the mayor's voice. It's in his own words, but it looks at the contrast between the mayor on fiscal discipline and the Democrats. I think people are familiar with the mayor out on the stump, knows that he talks a lot about Hillary Clinton and her efforts to tax folks more and to spend more money. So this ad highlights the differences between how Mayor Giuliani would tackle basically cutting taxes, restraining spending, versus the Democrats, and is a great way to drive that contrast.
Great. Well, before we wrap up and kind of end with a little bit of that ad, you can listen to the whole thing at the website, joinrudy2008.com.
Here's Rudy Giuliani.
Democrats want to move in the direction of much bigger government, socialized medicine, increasing government regulation, much higher taxes. They are making the promise to raise taxes. The only thing I can tell you in addition to that is they'll raise taxes even more than they promise. They want to take more of the people's money. I want to give the people back more of their own money because I know that's going to create more jobs for us.
As always, please give us your feedback. Shoot me an email at dan@joinrudy2008.com. Love to hear what your thoughts are on running with Rudy and what we can show you about the campaign. We'll see you next week.